All right. Welcome to another episode here for you guys, and in-person time for y'all. Here we go, meeting. Okay, so just want to say really quickly. So we've got a quick talk from one of our fellow members. I should say for those who are here for the first time, hello. My name is Jacob Simon. I'm the president currently of the Investment Club. I've been running here for a minute. We've gone over a lot of really good information, and we will continue to do so. So. Congrats on you for being here. You're inherently one step ahead in the game among your peers for doing so. All right. So just really quick introduction here. So is there anything that anyone would like to ask about really quickly? Any questions, points that people want to bring up?
Yeah, we should probably move the meeting date to Thursday. Like
Okay.
permanently.
Okay, thank you, Tria. Anyone else? No? Okay. Yeah, so if you guys find anything meaningful in what we go over in this club, please recommend it to your friends, because if you find it meaningful, they will very likely as well find it meaningful, so we can all benefit. So also, quick shout out, this is done for free. This takes hours to do. You guys benefit from our work, and you guys can also, of course, contribute if you would like to. But in that respect, though, there's a phrase that I like to use. I think really does get to the point. The world is better when we care together. There are 3 really, really good charities out there: Charity Water, World Central Kitchen, and Austin Pets Alive. If you find things meaningful here, you make money from the stuff that we go over, please do consider contributing to those sort of charities, or whatever you would like to. Those are just 3 example ones. Personally, I'm going to contribute 10% of the gains that I make through the current crash that we're going in.
Hey, real quick, Thomas, what was your charity?
So I'm working on starting a fundraiser. So I was adopted from Eastern Ukraine, and I've partnered up with the orphanage that I was in. I'm working with the intermediate group through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. We're gonna try to put something together where we're gonna sponsor some athletic events, and you guys can come out, donate. We're gonna put out we're gonna try to have a dodgeball tournament. You guys can put your teams together, and registration for your team. That money's going to a good cause.
How can people find it? Is it online?
It's not out yet because it's tough because they are going through a war. So communication communication isn't there every week. So I have to get it through. We're working with Life to Orphans, and they have to get it through people who live there, and they don't have water, so it's like this other communication is kind of to the back road.
Yeah.
But soon to be on the way, man. Just
Yeah, and we'll give you a place and time to make that announcement when things are more concrete. For sure. Right. And then just a quick icebreaker. Does anyone know what a simple IRA is? Just a quick show of hands. Just curious. No
idea.
We're going to be going over that today. We're going to be going over that sort of stuff and give you a really good resource for that stuff. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Thomas at this point. And go ahead and do your thing, Thomas. And then we'll get into the meat of today.
so. I am not a financial expert, but I can read, and with that ability, you should maybe think into trading around Federal Reserve announcements. So this is what the market for the E-mini future looked like yesterday. Again, you guys know I trade futures, or not like stock trading, because I don't have $25,000 in margin to post yet. We'll get there one day, but so I woke up, I knew November 2nd that they were going to have an announcement, a meeting, and with probably 80% certainty, I knew it was going to be a 0.75 increase in interest rates. And I woke up at like 8 a.m. and I just was like, okay, I'll short it. I'll come back to my computer in a couple hours to see where I'm at. So it was around 11:30, I checked with the computer, I was up $600 on my position. And I didn't open another contract, nothing, and I noticed it was increasing. I was like, okay, they're getting ready for the announcement. The announcement happens, and it went from, I wish I could zoom in, but I can't. It went from 38.35 to 39.04 in a matter of,
What is this? It was like a minute.
30 minutes. we saw $100 increase, and I was like, okay, this is a trap. And I think it's a trap because investors with much more capital than I do probably were like, okay, oh shit, this is gonna fall. Let me, a little pump and dump going on right here. And whenever I saw this peak, I didn't panic, I didn't sell my position because I knew the market, this is, when the Fed increases rates, this is not what it looks like. And immediately after this, you saw it plummet. What is this? 37.75,
From what?
39.06. So it's what is that? $130 plummet in
Like an hour?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. 1:30 to, we'll say 3 o'clock is right here. So I mean, you don't have to be day trading, at least from what I've learned so far in my own experience. It doesn't have to be company reports and relying on real human beings to make your decisions. If you're looking at the Federal Reserve, and this is an S&P, so it's a take on the market as a whole, it's a lot easier to predict and react to than an individual, because the Federal Reserve is probably the most powerful entity in the world, and they're not going to just do some outlandish random things that no one is, ready for. So just knowing that, pretty much do the opposite of them. If they're going to increase interest rates, you probably shouldn't buy, you should short. If they're going to increase rates, you should probably buy, because the market's going to work accordingly.
If they're gonna decrease rates, you should buy.
Yeah.
What did you start at, and where did you end at the day?
So one contract is $500. That's how much you're risking. The trade costs on TradeAway, what is it? $2.18 each direction. So $4.36 plus the 500 that I would put up at margin. Here was plus 600 on the day. Here was minus probably 1,000 something, and down here was plus $5,000 on the day. And I also did some more like intricate trade in the chop with the micro, but with the graph that I have here, I can't really explain that. But yeah, futures, man.
And this was paper trading?
Yeah, but
Okay,
I
so-
mean, there's a lot of people that follow the same position. I mean, people on Reddit, people on Twitter, everywhere.
Yeah.
When I get my paycheck from the school, I'm gonna start
That's
using.
all it is,
Start,
man.
we're
That's all
going
it
live,
is.
man. So I'll have to inform you guys on that as well.
And what was that when how do I say it? So Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed, said that they are gonna. What was the wording? It was like aggressive. It was like, we're gonna make them hurt or something.
Pain.
That was
I think it
September.
pain.
And
That's
so-
something. The wording, their message, like people. My fault.
Yeah, no, you're good. Like, so that's the thing is, you really just have to follow the news on that one, and then if they say they're gonna keep increasing the interest rates, what you can do is you can look at just Google when the last time they increased the interest rate was. Go
September
back to that
21st.
date on the chart. Yeah, it was September 21st was the last one, and you can see again it tanked right there. And
This
then
is September 21st, and it continued to fall.
I don't remember when the one before that was. I want to say maybe it was in like
I think it was August.
August or yeah. But anyway, it's very consistent. If you look at the days that they increase it, every single time it tanks. So it's really just look at the history.
And I think that's like a lot of people are talking about, like we're going to see a stock market collapse, we're in a bubble, and it's like the Fed is exposing how big this bubble really is, because as they increase interest rates, that becomes more expensive, and these companies that were just relying on their profit or relying on their stock price because other people relying on their stock price, not real tangible value, are going to get exposed whenever they realize they can't cut their cost, and their $300 stock price should really be 16 because it was just off of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's something you mentioned in the last class. We're in the biggest asset bubble ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the Fed increasing interest rates is, I mean, jobs were hot last month. Housing relies on interest rates. Futures, stock, pretty much everything you can imagine. I mean, it's
Loans.
crazy. So,
Alright, I'm interested. Where can I find some resources on this?
people more knowledgeable than me.
Do you have any resources you can point us to?
There's a guy on YouTube that I like.
Also Yahoo Finance.
Yahoo
is
Finance,
fantastic.
and even just your own reading in markets in general. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's again like with practice through paper trading, like you're gonna start noticing trends, you're gonna start noticing patterns. But
Yeah, definitely recommend.
this is
Paper
a guy that I
trading first.
like. He makes these. He's kind of like I don't know why. I feel like his thumbnails decrease the value of his videos because of these random, like these shocked faces. But he's got some good content in here, and I think it's kind of like anything where if you find someone who's trying to help you with trading and they tell you you're gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, that's not realistic.
It's a red flag.
What?
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Size, if someone's, this guy's talking about, size up your account, start with small trades, get consistent making $10, then move on to bigger, risk. That to me sounds like someone who has more footing and more awareness of how life and markets actually work. So this is the guy I like. And I mean, it's really probably about finding a strategy that works for you. He's a scalper, swing trading. I'm kind of scalping as well. But if you're a long-term investor, be a long-term investor. If you're a swing trader, be a swing trader. Just find what works for you and how much your heart can take of stress. I don't know yet. We're about to find out.
Also to add to that conversation of resources, so there's a website, Forex Factory. You want to go ahead and type that in? Forex Factory. That's a calendar. It'll have major events from around the world listed there, and it's right there. And you can see where what countries it's coming from, when it is, and as far as specifically for the Federal Reserve meetings and announcements, you can go to literally their channel on YouTube, and
The Fed has a channel on YouTube.
yes, they do, and the Kansas City Fed does too, and other ones, so so they're literally on there. Yeah, Kansas City Fed, they do it.
That's
Yeah.
Sure, Powell?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's a good resource.
Yeah.
Teaching economics and change. Yeah. So, anyone have any resources that they use? I don't know what you guys trade, but
Doesn't Ponta have a YouTube channel?
He does.
I bet he's got some information.
He does.
this is one
I don't
of
think
the.
you find it though.
Oh, I can't. Oh,
That's,
Oh, maybe not.
that's good right there, yeah.
Maybe not.
that's for
Maybe
another
some other
time.
time.
That's for another time.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
All right.
And he calls it, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thomas.
Thanks.